Hey, and welcome while we read about the Battle of Gettysburg. This is the most critical battle because this is the turning point of the war. Before this battle, the South really stood a chance of winning. Those early battles where the South was winning left and right with fewer numbers against far superior armies. But Gettysburg, it's over. After Gettysburg, there's a few times where the South rallies for victories, but it's a matter of time. Gettysburg is the real turning point of the war. The Battle of Gettysburg occurs from July 1st, 1863 to July 3rd, 1863. So, in the summer of 1863, Confederate General Robert E. Lee launched his second invasion of the northern states. He's going north. He's actually invading the Union. Lee sought to capitalize on recent Confederate victories and to defeat the Union Army on Northern soil, which he hoped would force Lincoln and his administration to negotiate for peace. He felt that if he could win a battle in the North, a major battle in the North, that might force Lincoln to be like, all right, well, let's just give up. Lee also sought to take the war out of the ravaged Virginia farmland and to gather supplies for his Army of Northern Virginia. By attacking the North, he can allow his men to go forage, as in to go steal stuff from the local countryside. That's what the Union had been doing to the farmers in the South. That's what he wanted to do to the farmers in the North. He who can better feed their army and without losing any resources is going to do better. Using the Shenandoah Valley as cover as he moved north on June 3rd, Lee was pursued first by Union Major General Joseph Hooker and then later on by Major General George G. Meade, who replaced Hooker. Um, Lee's army crossed into Pennsylvania mid June and on June 28th had reached the Susquehanna River. The opposing forces collided at the crosstowns roads of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania on the morning of July 1st. In severe fighting, the Confederates swept the Federals from the field west and north of town, but were unable to secure Cemetery Hill and Culp's Hill to the south. The following day, as reinforcements arrived on both sides, Lee attacked the Federals all along their line, but failed to dislodge the defenders. On July 3rd, Lee attacked the Union center on Cemetery Ridge and was repulsed with heavy losses in what's now known as Pickett's Charge. Pickett took his entire regiment, his entire army, and literally just charged across open field. The Union were behind fences and behind stone walls, and they just cut him down. Uh, Later on, Pickett was going back and he saw some of his fellow officers, and it's reportedly that when he was asked General Pickett, "How did the attack go? How is your army?" He just looked up and basically said, and this is we don't really know, but says that I have no army. They're all dead. Lee's second invasion of the North had failed and resulted in an estimated 51,000 casualties on both sides. The bloodiest single battle of the entire war, even worse than Antietam. The Battle of Gettysburg was a significant Union victory, considered by many to be the most critical turning point of the war. So, the Battle of Gettysburg, July 1st through 3rd, 1863, and Greensboro, Pennsylvania. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. There's 90,000 Union troops versus 75,000 Confederate troops. Lee realized that the South could not continue the battle of attrition. He needed to end the war soon, and he felt that a swift attack could end the war. So he invades Pennsylvania. The Confederates' bombardment of 569 tons of ammunition. However, the Union lines hold firm. July 3rd, General Pickett leads 15,000 Confederate troops across open fields. The Union troops mow them down, like pretty much all 15,000 dead in one charge. Lee was defeated and retreated to Virginia. Gettysburg is the largest single battle in the history of the Western Hemisphere. In our half of the world, Gettysburg is the biggest battle that's ever happened. Over 100,000 casualties in 3 days. And this would be the very last time the South invades the North. It's known as a harvest of death. Gettysburg. It's the name of the picture. a harvest of death. And this is an actual photograph of Gettysburg after the battle. This sets up, however, a few months later, Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, which, if the Emancipation Proclamation if it didn't completely change the point of the war, the mentality of the war, the Gettysburg Address finished the job. Like, it's beautiful. And after this sets up Grant in the West to be able to push south along his train going south to fulfill Winfield Scott's Anaconda Plan. The Anaconda Plan being one where you surround the South. And what they're going to do is they're going to go down through the Mississippi River and they're going to attack Louisiana from the south, and they're going to cut the Confederacy in half. This never would have been able to be possible without Gettysburg. Basically, what they're going to do is they're going to cut Texas away from the Confederacy. Texas was the only state that remained decently strong at the end of the Civil War because they couldn't be cut off from trade from other countries. The Anaconda Plan couldn't work on them because they could just trade with Mexico. I hope you're learning, and I hope you're having fun.